Imagine you lose your job and you only have 1 week of savings to fall back on. Sounds dramatic? For 3 out of 10 people worldwide, this is a bitter reality. Financial education is the key to overcoming such crises, but the figures around the world show that many people are not adequately prepared. An OECD study shows that many people find it difficult to apply themselves to basic financial issues. Although 8 out of 10 adults know how interest works, only around a third understand what compound interest is. The situation is similar when it comes to inflation. 8 out of 10 people can relate to the term inflation, but only 6 out of 10 know what inflation means for their money over time. And specifically here in Europe, here too, it becomes evident that many people do not understand topics such as interest rates, inflation and debt very well. These topics belong to the so-called Big Three of financial education, which refer to pure knowledge. This means that these results say nothing about people's actual ability to make financial decisions. Around half of those surveyed were only able to answer 2 or 3 questions on this topic correctly. Although Germany is only in mid-table overall in a recently published European comparison, it is currently without a national financial education strategy, and it is the last G20 state and one of the last OECD countries to do so. However, the fact that more than 9 out of 10 Germans would like financial education to be part of school lessons illustrates that the topic is fundamentally important to the German population. But what do other European states do differently and better? And what positive examples are there? Let's take a look at Finland.
What is Finland doing right? Let's take Elias, for example. Elias is 12 years old and lives in Helsinki. Today, he and his classmates are taking part in the ITSK program. In order to learn how to manage money as an adult, he spends a working day in a fictitious town together with his fellow pupils. He works there for a day as a post office manager and earns money that he can then spend in a restaurant or take to the bank, for example. That way, he learns how taxes work, how much he can afford, and what a bank does with his money. With measures like these, Finland is already one of the countries with the best financial education in the EU. The practice-oriented and mandatory integration into lessons enables pupils to learn about the importance of finances in their own lives. Financial education is particularly important for this target group. However, the Finnish strategy takes the entire population into focus, for example senior citizens, with advice on financial matters before retirement or guidelines for online banking. Finland's success is also based on the fact that they have coordinated various financial education initiatives, such as those of banks, the central bank and consumer protection organizations, in order to take more effective action. All these measures are then coordinated at the Ministry of Justice. Finland wants to become the country with the best financial education in the world by 2030. To this end, measurable targets have been set in terms of knowledge, for example that 80% know what inflation is, but also in terms of behavior and attitudes. So we can see that there are positive examples of improving financial education. But why is this so important? Financial education is crucial for making social inequality visible and for reducing it. For example, single parents, women, the elderly and migrants are often economically disadvantaged and could benefit particularly from financial education. Ultimately, financial education enables people to make better financial decisions. The consumer is always at the center of financial education. Only financially educated Europeans can make informed financial decisions. This also includes participating in the capital market. Financial education is therefore an important part of the European concept of a Savings and Investments Union. The SEU aims to utilize the full potential of European savings in order to, among other things, promote investment and innovation. Only with a well-informed population can confidence in a common European capital market be increased and its full potential utilized.
For the Savings Banks Finance Group, financial education is part of its DNA. Educating the population about saving up was already enshrined in the founding motives of the first savings banks and is part of the public mandate. With a combined business volume of 3,320 billion euros, the savings banks, together with the associated partners, form the largest financial services provider in Europe. The Savings Banks Finance Group comprises 500 enterprises, 348 of which are savings banks alone. So what does the Savings Banks Finance Group do for financial education in Germany? On its digital learning platform, Sparkassen Schulservice, the Savings Banks Finance Group provides free, content-neutral and advertising-free teaching materials on financial topics that are based on the curricula and support both teachers and pupils. However, financial education is not aimed at pupils alone. The Money and Household Counseling Service has been supporting private households in financial matters from as early as 1958. What began with a free budget planner has developed into a comprehensive educational offer. With free guides, lectures, and online tools, it imparts financial knowledge free of advertising, contributes to the prevention of excessive indebtedness, and helps consumers to secure their finances. That way, the savings banks also make a valuable contribution to consumers' protection. Financial education can also be the first step towards self-employment. This is precisely where the German Startup Award for pupils that supports entrepreneurial spirit and self-employment comes in. The competition strengthens creativity, teamwork, and independent thinking, skills that are important far beyond the startup world. To promote an investment culture among young people, the Savings Banks Finance Group has also been offering the Planspielbörse game for over 40 years. In this online competition, participants can trade virtual capital on the stock exchange. In addition to the German groups, numerous teams also take part across Europe. Individual savings banks have launched targeted financial education measures, such as Sparkasse Köln-Bonn with its Hier mit Herz association. Legally distinct, it offers training measures on the topics of money, budgeting, fraud prevention, and protection against money laundering schemes in school playgrounds. For senior citizens, some Sparkassen offer local events, for example, the so-called Together Against Tricksters event on the subject of fraud prevention in cooperation with the police at the Sparkasse Neuss. But why all this? Financial education is becoming increasingly important because it helps people to make informed decisions in the increasingly complex world of finance. And the above listed examples from the Savings Banks Finance Group show how people in Europe can be successfully guided and supported in this complex world of finance. The Savings Banks Finance Group's successful contribution to financial education can, in part, be attributed to its structure. It is divided into many units, thus it is adaptable to regional challenges, and at the same time particularly close to the people. The future of financial education in Europe is facing major challenges. Now it's time to act to lay the foundations for a stable and fair future.